All right, what's going on? So this is going to be devlog number 2 since my last devlog number 1. I made some updates to like the social kind of tab here. The social side nav is what I'm calling it. So I just added some front end kind of changes here. So before this used to be a single like column which just had all like the friend requests and then the like online offline status of your friends, etc., etc. But I went ahead and added like this tab kind of deal up here at the top, which is going to now allow you to basically open this tab by hitting, or open this side nav by hitting the tab key, and then you'll be defaulted to seeing like your friends list. So it'll start off by friend requests. You can send friend requests to people, and then any pending friend requests would be here. Friends will show up here, online, offline. You can search, and then any pending like people that you added that haven't responded to you yet. But then the change now is going to be there's going to be this groups tab, right? So you can go over to this, and then it will automatically kick off with this create group functionality, which is like in an accordion, so you can roll it up if you don't want to create a group. And the plan is going to be to have all the other groups here, so like group chats, so to speak. So if you're like, it'll just say like groups and have a list of groups that you're a part of, and you could chat in them, and they're going to be group chats instead of the one-on-one chats, which I already have implemented. So like, as of right now, I have it to where the button's disabled. You can give it a name, like, it's in Korean, sorry, like Sharima, whatever. And then there's a now vertical or like a drop down, the multi-select drop down with your friends. So this only populates with like your online friends, and it's filterable, so you can like search too if you wanted to for like Hodu or whatever. And then you can multi-select and then create. Right now it doesn't do anything, but if I open up the console, it's like it does have the data here. So you can see like there's the name and then here's the array. And then right now the data, like the users, it's just like a projection of the friends. So it's just their ID, just their username, and whether they're online or not. And that's like obviously you don't want to be returning like the entire user object from the database, which has like all their password information and sensitive information, because it's like a security risk as well as not very performant. But yeah, so that's kind of where it's at right now. So some of the things I'm thinking of is like I still have to implement like group creation on the back end, and what does that even mean? So I was kind of like thinking through it in my brain, like what does that actually entail? And then like when you create a group, should it create the group immediately, or should it be more like a group request thing where okay, like we've sent this data to the back end, and then instead of creating the group immediately with all of the members in it, maybe you create the group and then you like send requests out to all the members or like all the potential members so that they have to accept or reject that group. So maybe there's going to be a concept of this thing called group requests. So yeah, I'll have to think about that. I think I'm going to do it that way to where you can't just create a group with people in it. It has to be like they have to accept the request, if that makes sense. So then there's going to be like kind of similar to how it is on the friend requests, where you'll have like your friend requests that are pending up here that you've sent out to people, or that are inbound to you, as well as like any pending ones that you've sent out that people haven't responded to yet. But yeah, I got to think about that because it's going to be a matter of persisting it in the database, creating the group, like what is a group, like kind of defining that entity and all the relationships, and then also sending the requests to people in real time, right, so that they can see it like in there, like so they'll have like a little notification pop up. So there's going to be some socket connection stuff that's going to go on there. What else? I'm trying to think. Then like obviously if they've accepted it or not accepted it. Okay, then what happens if there is a group? So then I need to think about what that UI looks like. So it's gonna probably be like, yeah, a list of groups here that you can, it's gonna be similar to this, right? Where you can, click in and see the chat history. So I think I'm gonna do something like that where it's just gonna have like the group name, and then you'll be able to click in and see the chat history. But then the thing that's gonna be different is like what if people want to leave the group? What if you want to kick somebody from the group? Like who should have the authority to kick somebody from the group? Should it only be like the person who created it? Um, like what are the members? Maybe there needs to be like a little button that shows like a members list. What happens if you are in a group with people that are not friends with each other? So I need to just consider that and make sure there's no security concerns and how to handle all that kind of stuff too. Or like if you are in a group of people that are mixed friends, like some are friends and some are not, do you want to have like a feature to like easily add those friends from the group so you don't have to like actively like go over here and like search their name? Oh, dang, what else? But yeah, basically that's what I'm working on right now. This is like the first step, which is just usually the way I like to work is front end to back end, which might be kind of opposite to what a lot of people like to do. But I like to get like the user experience down first. So okay, like I'm a user, I just logged in. Like obviously the first thing you'd have to do is create a group. So we got this UI in place, and now it's just a matter of implementing like the back end creation. So I think that's what's going to be next is back end, and then maybe some basic socket stuff to like set up notifications. If not the socket stuff yet, then I'll work on okay, like just HTTP REST and like okay, I've created a group and I now have the group, and then what does the UI look like? Maybe I'll do that next for an actual group. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is for right now. So that's kind of what I've been working on. Oh, and then some other minor changes. I just made like the UI a little more consistent between like this. I extended this to like the full range, like the input, just to match like these. And I changed like the spacing so they line up kind of nicely. So like when you're navigating from friends to groups, it's kind of like a seamless transition, and you're not getting like all jumbled up and everything. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm gonna hop into my game thing. I always do this from time to time. It keeps me sane. Anyways, yeah. So I haven't really worked on the game code. Obviously, this has been kind of at this state for a while. But I have been working on the social aspect of it, which is this social side nav. And there's a lot that goes into the social side nav. Like it doesn't seem like it's that much at first glance, but then as I've been implementing this, it's just like, geez, dude, so many like lines of code and logic and thought that just goes into all of this. But anyways, that's all I got. So see you guys in the next devlog. Peace.